Police are searching for James Thomas, believed to be...
Up till recently, 28 Days Later has been a very hard movie to find.
Yeah.
It's up until the release of the trailer for 28 Years Later, which is pretty much, that's why we're talking about these movies pretty much, is that the trailer kind of like re-peaked, at least interest in me of these movies, which I hadn't seen these movies for a long time. But 28 Days Later was, you couldn't rent it. And the DVDs and Blu-rays secondhand were like really hard to find and expensive.
Yeah, which is weird because it was a pretty popular movie when it came out.
Yeah, it was.
Sure.
It was all over the map.
Something that I didn't realize necessarily until rewatching both these films is that there is a big fundamental change to the way that these zombies function that like just makes the story feel more interesting and fresh and different than a lot of other zombie films.
Yeah.
And that is like, it's not that they're fast zombies necessarily, because like there's other content that has fast zombies that kind of falls into a lot of similar tropes, but the fact that you become a zombie so quickly.
Yeah, it's so cruel. Like I think about like Shaun of the Dead, and they're having like this whole like long argument about like whether they should kill his mom.
Yeah.
And it's like, you just don't get the chance here. Like that's
right.
It's like a major plot point is like, you don't have time to think about it. Like you either make the choice now or you're dead.
Dead, right.
Yeah.
100%.
Kind of reminded me, even though it's hard for me to regard this as a zombie movie, but just the whole, viral contagion, situation reminded me a lot of an early David Cronenberg movie, actually. Rabid.
Ooh.
And it's very much like what the title implies. Like, it's this strain of rabies that's just so horrible that
very similar.
Seconds you go from like mild-mannered individual to like cannibalistic
with
berserker.
Rage, right? Yeah. I'd like to talk about how it's shot. You said that it's not entirely shot on camcorder, but it's all got this like crazy like digital like super soft, almost like VHS look to it, and it's just gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean,
I used to look at it on my HDTV and think like, man, this movie's ugly. But now, like, as I've gotten older, I'm like, this is a beautiful way to like, because this is clearly like a stylistic choice. Because no other movie really looks like this. Like, all the lights are kind of blown out a little bit. There's like this bloom around everything and this softness, and the colors all kind of blend together in an interesting way.
Most of like the wide, like they're going across the city landscape shots.
Yeah.
Where there's like no people around, or what was filmed on the Canon XL1 digital video camera.
To shoot super quick.
Yeah, because you could just set it up literally. They had a very limited amount of time to be able to get these shots set up, and they needed a camera that could just like go quick and record, something that I think is the power of certain kind of like found footage films and like movies that use those kind of techniques, is that in the real world, if this thing was happening, it'd be scary to actually be there, but how like people outside of the situation, like in America, we would be seeing it on TV, and we would be seeing it in these like low fidelity formats at this time, and like that's how almost like looking at war footage, at it,
right,
like, country,
for sure.
So just like really effective.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and there's like an interesting like vibe to this whole movie where it's like it's super surreal at times, like in the action scenes specifically, and the scenes where your adrenaline's supposed to get pumping, the way that's edited, and the sound. Some sounds that you think are supposed to be really loud are kind of quiet, and like vice versa. Yeah. And they'll like do like these double takes where they like show the same shot twice, like really quick in succession, and it has that kind of like disorienting, like in the moment feeling. The whole movie just feels super surreal.
Yeah.
The police are searching for James Thomas, believed to be...